So like I said, we're going to work through Photoshop step by step, a little chunk at a time. So in the last tutorial you learned how to use the selection tools, the marquee selections. I could go on to show you the magic wand right now or the different masseuse tools, but we might as well finish this image off. Most importantly when we're creating images is that we have the right tools to do the right jobs. And at the moment this image here, we've got a lot of white space. So if you ever did any photography, you'd know what you're looking to do is crop the image. If you've ever cut something out of it, you've printed an image off on a piece of paper and you've had to cut it out, what you're doing is you're cropping that image down. So I want to crop this actually just around the TV screen, the actual player, just the image inside the player. I don't want any of this player that's underneath or any that's on top. There's several ways that I can do this. First of all, I can start by grabbing that rectangular marquee tool that you've used. I'm going to select layer 2, which is the active layer, and I can just create a rectangle across the top and hit the delete key on my keyboard, and that'll remove it. And I can also go down from the bottom as well and do a similar thing. Make a selection, hit delete, that deletes the selected area that you've got. And that's one way of doing it. Now I'm going to undo what I just did and I'm going to show you a few different ways of doing it. So I'm going to use the Control, the Alt and the Z key, and while I've got Control and Alt held down, I'm just going to keep pressing Z. What that's doing is it's stepping backwards through what I've done. You've actually got a history menu which we're going to look at in a little bit more detail a bit later on in one of the other tutorials. But that history menu, it makes it almost does an autosave after every single action you perform, and you can step back through those actions. If you've got Photoshop at home, you can actually set how many levels of those actions are available to you. If you're using it at college, it's set to about 16 or 17 actions, so you can't actually go back all that far in history. So back to the original point, we're going to crop this image. Now to start with, I can use the marquee selection and actually just select the area I want, and that's good enough to crop. I can now go into my image menu and go to crop. As simple as that. So right now I've cropped the image to exactly where I wanted it to. Again, I'm going to go back so I can show you another method. I've got a crop tool in the menu. Those of you that found it, well done you, taking the time to have a look around. If I select the crop tool, and then similar to the marquee selection, I just click and I drag, and that makes my box. Notice this time that everything else has gone grey. And when you use the crop tool, it actually shows you your selection quite nicely, and we can actually adjust these handles right here and line them up exactly with the top and bottom of the image, making sure we're not taking in any of this background around the right, left, bottom or top edges. So I'm just going to crop into the image a little bit, and again hit the enter key when you're happy, and it crops it down to size. Now it's a really nice little tool, really simple to use. Now another thing you can do with the crop tool is if you know exactly how big you want it to be, you can give it some dimensions. So let's say 50 pixels, px for pixels, put a 50 instead of 50, 50 pixels by 50 pixels. So right now when we drag it, all we can actually do is create a square. We can't make any other shape because we've told it that we want a square. Hit the escape key to say no. Goes back to our original. So if you can only draw a square when you're trying to crop, check at these settings at the top, someone might have changed them. You can click clear just to get rid of it really quickly. So to carry on the cropping theme, I'm going to crop this TV out of the image. What I want to do, not only do I want to crop it, but I also want to keep it flat. So make a selection. Everything else has gone darkened around the image, so we've only got the image that we can see selected. If you look across this top area, it's actually changed. So we've got a shield on. The shield is what darkens everything around it. If I untick that, everything comes back to full brightness. The shield's quite nice because it means we can actually see what we're working with. Because I've got a black area that I'm selecting, I'm going to change the shield colour to red so I can really see what I'm working with. You can turn the opacity of that up if you want, it'll block everything out, or you can drag it down. I think it's quite nice to be able to see both. I'm going to click this perspective box. What this now gives us the ability to do is move individual handles. So I'm going to click and I'm going to reposition each handle exactly where I want it. Instead of being a straight rectangle now, I'm actually getting the ability to change the shape of stuff. So I'm going to set it to exactly the shape of that TV. Now originally, if I take this opacity all the way down, that TV was at a bit of an angle in the background, it's not quite straight. Take the opacity back up. While I've got perspective ticked, I've set it up, I'm going to hit the enter key, and it brings it nice and flat into full view. It takes off that angle. Now with that angle we'd have had a little bit across the top of the background and a little bit across the bottom, so it fits it into perspective quite nicely. If I go into Google Images, and I'll show you that perspective another way, and search for street sign, too many E's, street signpost. I'm in America, that doesn't help. I'm looking for an English street sign. There's got to be something nice and quick. Dunstan Avenue, there we go. Let's load that image up. It's actually a huge image. It's quite typical, really. So that's loading up quite quickly. I'm going to copy the image, go to Photoshop, and go File, New. I want it on the clipboard size. Hit Enter. And I'm going to edit and paste that image in. So we've got something that is kind of flat, but not quite flat. With my crop tool selected, I'm going to go right the way around the area that I want to crop, making sure that I've got everything in the top and the bottom selected. Let's just drag it up on the top a little bit, and then zoom in slightly, slight bit too much. So we can see that that section isn't level by the fact that the corner down here is flush with the black part, yet this bottom left hand corner isn't flush at all. So perspective is tip. Let's just drag those handles in exactly where we want them, making sure that there's no grass on display, but also that we're not cutting out any of the trim around the side. That's about there. Hit the enter key, it'll crop it and it'll make it flat for us. Really nice and simple. If you find yourself an image with a sign at more of an angle and see what it does, it really does have a lot of potential when you're cropping your images. But let's go back to what we were working on before I got distracted. There we go, that's how to crop an image. If I step back a little bit, you can see that I cropped the TV screen, step back again, that's where I went all the way from. So from that image there where we've got a lot of white space, we've got a lot of black areas around the top and bottom of the media player, and we've got our image and we've got the TV screen in the image, all the way to the flat TV screen with the world on that we put there.